Good evening. Welcome to Lord Fairfax Community College. My name is Kayla. I'm one of the academic advisors. How may I help you? Okay, you're here to register for your first semester. Wonderful. Okay, well, since this is your first semester, I'm going to need some information from you just to confirm you are who you say you are, and so we can bring up your account in case there's a student with the same name. Yes, so please have your photo ID, your social security number, and your college acceptance letter, and I will take that from you. Okay, thank you. And how do you spell that? Okay, and you still live at this address, correct? Wonderful. Okay, so it looks like you need your student ID number and your student email account. Is that correct? Okay. Yes, you need all that information in order to register for class, and our first-time students or our students who are coming back to school don't always know that, and so they try and register for courses, and they get very, very frustrated because they aren't getting assistance that they need, but they don't know what they need. So, okay. Here. Let me just write down your student ID number. Okay. And your email will be on a printout page that I will hand to you before you leave. Okay? So, I'm just going to ask some questions just to see where you are as a student, to see what kind of schedule we should set up for you and what kind of course load we should expect for you. So the first question that I have to ask for you is, are you a traditional student? A traditional student is going to be a student that comes directly from high school and enrolls in college full-time. When they come to Lord Fairfax, typically they are going to transfer into one of the bigger schools, one of the 4 years. Okay, you're a non-traditional student. That's fine. That's fine. Now, are you working full-time? Are you working part-time? Do you have any kind of obligations or disabilities that we need to accommodate? Okay, so you're working part-time, and you have a family member you take care of. Okay. Any disabilities we need to know of? These can be physical or learning. The reason why we ask is we've had students who come who are blind, deaf, maybe they have some sort of dyslexia or something where they're going to need a little bit more flexibility with the professors, or they're going to need to be accommodated in some way. So for our students who are blind and they take a computer class, we have special software we have downloaded for them so they can do all the online assignments and coursework without having to stress about their disability. Okay, no disabilities. Wonderful. Okay, well, I am required to tell you that if you ever have a problem or if a situation comes up that you are going to have to go to the academic office, which is not the counseling office that you're at here. There's another office. It's called the academic office, and that's academic. It's called the ACE office, and that's the Academic Counseling for Excellence. Yes, they offer tutoring there. They offer certain testings so you can get out of taking classes. So, in other words, instead of taking a required keyboarding class, you can just move into second or third level, depending on how well you score on the test. Yes. Yes. Now, have you already taken your entry exams? Okay. Yes. Yes. Wonderful. Okay. Well, it's very good that you've already taken them. You're already ahead of the curve, because we cannot enroll you in any courses until we see your scores, because then we can see what kind of math you score into and if you need any assistance, if we need to set up tutoring or anything like that. Yes. And tutoring will always be held at the ACE office. They have tutors available to you. Mm-hmm. So since you are a non-traditional student, you are working part-time, and you take care of somebody at home, we need to look at your weekly schedule. Yes, so on average, how many days a week do you work, and what are those days? Okay, so you work about 30 hours a week, Mondays through Wednesdays, and sometimes Saturdays. Okay. Yes. That does kind of limit the classes you can take, just because Thursdays and Fridays are the end of the week and we have fewer classes available, but we do have classes available those days. And there are, of course, online classes if you feel that would be more appropriate for you. So, have you decided what you are looking to study? Okay, you're just looking to get a career study certificate. There's nothing wrong with that at all. The Career Study Certificate program is meant for individuals who are usually in your situation. They are a non-traditional student, or they are a little bit older than our high school grads, and they are looking to better themselves in order to get maybe a promotion, or to get a little more experience in the work field, or to get a higher level job and make a little bit more money. Now, I do need to tell you that the work study certificate is not the same as a degree. There are some of them do overlap, though. So let's say you were looking at doing medical coding and billing. It does overlap quite a bit with an associate's degree. You will be taking a lot of the same classes, but you will not be receiving a degree, as you will be short some credits that are required for it. But if you wanted to add those in, you would have a certificate and a associate's degree at the end of your studies. Yes, so generally with this work certificate, you will just get a certificate at the end of the course, or courses, I should say. Mm-hmm. Well, the wonderful thing about the work certificate is it also, if you decide you want to take some time off between semesters or something, it also sets it up so that you already have credits for when you want to come back, if you want to come back for a degree. you already have some credits and you're already opted out of some classes, and depending on which one you take, you can already test out of those and go into the higher level ones. So did you see which work studies program you were interested in? Okay, medical coding and billing. Well, I'm enrolled in that program, so I know. Most of the academic advisors here, or the academic counselors, are students themselves and are enrolled in a course or two here. Now, would you prefer day classes or evening? Okay, let me see what we have available for evening classes Thursdays and Fridays. Okay. So, now, how many words can you type per minute? The required speed before you can go into any classes, there are 2 classes. The basic class, which means you type less than 30 words per minute, and then there's the advanced class, which means you type at least 30 words per minute. These are, it's an office skills class, so you're going to learn how to work Microsoft Office and Word. You're going to learn how to use the cloud or drive, as they call it, and then you're also going to learn how to properly type on a keyboard. No, not at all. Depending on which course you take and which professor you take, the course can be a little more demanding. It also depends on your previous skill level. Yes. Usually with our keyboarding classes or our ITE classes, depending on what time of day you take them. If you take them during the day, you're going to be with a lot of younger students who usually already have credits and already know the information, so the class will move very, very quickly. But it's only because it's the younger students that just need the credit but already know the information. Yes, if you take an evening class, they move a little bit slower, just because that's usually going to be your non-traditional students, like the adults that are coming back learning new skills for work or something. Well, considering you have a advanced word per minute, WPM, of 40, we're just going to have to test you out, which is no problem, and then we can enroll you in one of the other courses. Now, there are 2 courses available. There are 3 different courses available, excuse me. One is a hybrid class, which means it'll be one week it'll be online and one week it'll be in person. Then you have 2 traditional weekly classes that are on Thursday evenings. So you want to take the Thursday evening in person? Okay, wonderful. Now they are both at the same time. So you have the 6 o'clock class, and then you have two 6 o'clock classes. The only difference is the professors. There is Professor Reginald and Professor Rockwell right now. Those are the only two in-persons we have on Thursdays. Professor Reginald is going to be one of our older professors, so the class may move a little bit slower. Yes. Very, very nice man, but for some people who catch on quickly, the class can be a little frustrating for them just because they already know the information. He just moves slower in the course. Again, you're going to be with mostly adults in the class. Okay, so let me write down the code for this. And then, how many courses do you want to take? Each course we offer is usually 3 credits. There are some very, very small classes that are only 1 or 2 credits, but usually they're 3. With this course, I would recommend, yes, with our keyboarding course, I would either recommend the technology course, which will be very, very similar to this course. The only difference is it'll go into, it'll tell you the more technical things about how it works. So, yeah, so it explains how Microsoft works. So, why you have to, what happens when it shuts off, how to autosave, how to do certain things like that. That course isn't bad. Yes, we only have 1 professor for that course, and he's currently full for this semester, but that's normally the course we would try and recommend you for. It may be a little dull being on the computer and doing the same things over and over, and just in a little more detail. It may be a little confusing for some of our students. So if that is something you want to do next semester, or okay, well, the other one we can put you in is a terminology course. It is used in all medical offices, where you learn what certain things mean. So you will learn what certain parts of the body are, what certain procedures are called, and things like that. Yes. Okay. There are a few other courses. We have a statistics class you could take, or we have an English class you could take. Yes, those are all going to be required for having no credits, no prior credits, and moving into this certificate program. Okay, you would like to take a literature class. Wonderful. So we actually only have 2 available, and we have 1 for Thursday afternoon, and then we have 1 for Thursday morning. The Thursday afternoon is going to be 4 to 5. Mm-hmm. 4 to, it says 4 to 5, it's really 4 to 5:45. Yeah, they will not, yeah. Because it meets once a week, it typically is 2 to 3 hours long. Why it says it's only an hour long, I have no idea, but it is a 2-hour long course, so you will have time to go from one class to the other. Yes. Okay. Let's see. Let me write down her course number. Okay. So we have the courses you've picked out, and we made sure they didn't overlap. So now what you're going to do is I'm going to print out instructions just so you have them for next time, but I'm going to go ahead and enroll you right now myself. Yes. So okay. So you're already enrolled in the course, and payment is due on the 15th. Are you receiving any kind of financial aid? Okay, so you won't have to worry about that until the middle of the semester. So probably around February 15th or so, you may get an email saying you owe us a remaining balance of whatever. Yes. That's assuming you don't get full coverage for your financial aid. Together your tuition. Excuse me. Altogether your tuition will be about $800. It's about $400 for each class. That's not including any kind of required text or materials. Yes. The financial aid office can help you fill out your FAFSA, and we tell every student to fill out the FAFSA, even if they don't think they're going to qualify, because you never know, and because you get a federal grant or a state grant, and then there is also a local grant, we call it. It's a scholarship, and if you are not eligible for either of the financial aids, they will go ahead and submit your application to the local grant, so you can possibly get some money. Yes. I don't know how much the local one is for. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, you can ask the financial aid office and they will be able to tell you. Okay, wonderful. Well, you're all enrolled in class, and like I said, tuition won't be due until the 15th, and you don't have to make your full payment. You only have to pay a little bit. So you can go to the business office and set up whatever kind of payment plan you would like to with them. You can pay every week, you can pay every month. Just the 15th is when the first payment is going to be due. Yes. Okay, terrific. Well, here is all your paperwork. Yeah. and I hope you enjoy your semester here. If you have any troubles, please feel free to contact me.